Hey, is this thing on? Welcome to another week of reading Reddit for the Overwatch category. I used to do OWCS. Last week, I experimented with doing the main Overwatch subreddit. And this week, I'm going to look at all three of the major subreddits. We have r/Overwatch, r/OverwatchUniversity, and r/competitive Overwatch, and taking a few posts from each and having a good time. So let's see what we have this week. The first bit of news is that the new SSERAFIM skins have been announced. I do think this bundle, at least the first iteration, was awesome, and I'm pretty happy that they got a new one. We have Ashe, Juno, Mercy, Illari, and D.Va. Wow, D.Va getting a second one? I mean, she kind of fits the mold, right? She is the K-pop artist, that's fine. Here's a better look at them. We have another picture here. SSERAFIM. Very, very cool. I'm a little sad that I'm on the tail end of their vlog, but I did the whole like BlizzCon event where I got to play with SSERAFIM in that like 5v5 scrim match with like, was it Emong, Wanted, Jake, me? I had a Unche on my team. No, Unche was on the other team, and I think Unche and Sakura were like the best two gamers, and the rest of them were like non-gamers at all. And it was pretty funny. I'm just sad they never like released the official picture. I never got that, and I wanted to use that as like a haha, look what I did to like my family and stuff to show off. But these skins, I mean, they look really cute. My only criticism is that I think they should have kept like the original hair color or some discernible characteristic from the original hero, because I just found out that this is D.Va and not Juno, and this one is the Juno skin. And honestly, if Mercy didn't have the wings, I wouldn't be able to tell this was Mercy. Ashe was a little ambiguous as well. Illari was a bit more obvious because she's darker skinned, but the rest of them, a little hard to tell at first glance. I thought they did a pretty good job with the other ones, like the Tracer and the Brig and the Sombra. You could definitely tell like their hero characteristics from the original hero, and you could tell they're cosplaying as SSERAFIM with their outfits, but this one is just like, yeah, well, at first glance, they look pretty similar, minus Illari. Maybe that's just me though. Next post, Rein's new perk for Overhealth applies to ledge kills too. So I did a Mythbuster on my main channel, and I know that we checked if Rein could shoulder bump people when he's pinned somebody and he bumps multiple targets. He does gain Overhealth there, but apparently I missed this one, or if you take somebody off the ledge. And with a Lucio beat, by the way. Oh my goodness, that actually makes the perk way better than it actually is, especially if you take them off the map. Obviously, with it's a percentage or a portion of their base health, but health gain from the Lucio beat counts. So that's why this example showed a lot more. Next, a comedy one, a humor highlight. Lifeweaver pulling Rein from his ultimate laughing emoji. I know Rein was mad. LOL, Bastion and I were the only ones on the point, and he had us both down. Let's see this clip. Fading away. Rein chatters the Moira Bastion and gets gripped away. Lifeweaver's secret agent on the other team strikes once again. Out of all the cool plays and saves that Lifeweaver can do, this is also one of the unfortunate outcomes where you think you're trying to save your teammate, but you inevitably just like make it worse by pulling them from a good situation where they should have been in. I remember this game I played with Flats, and our Lifeweaver, I think, pulled him out of the fight as the tank while we were about to win. I antied like two people and set it up, and then they gripped Flats out, and he absolutely crashed out. Pretty warranted crash out, because like we could have won. I think we lost the game on that. It was on Havana. I remember it very distinctly. Maybe somebody who watches my stream regularly can remember this from a couple months ago, maybe last year. Pretty funny when it happens, when in a low stakes game. I mean, this is a rank game. I can see your gold portrait here, but very frustrating, and one of the reasons why people hate having a Lifeweaver on their team. Next one is another video. This is why Bastion's self-repair is going to have the resource meter back. Oh, a 1 minute clip. What do we got? Oh, this music. Oh, it's edited too. Oh my god, what am I looking at? Asleep the Andy. First of all, I do think Bastion's self-repair is kind of a nuts perk because it's infinite. Obviously, it needs a resource meter, in my opinion, as well. But this clip was like just an example of what not to do, regardless of the resource meter of not. From the other team's perspective, like you running away, fine. But what did I just witness from A, Winston chasing a Bastion, A, Bastion does armor, B, you get out-healed. by self-repair. I'm pretty sure it's 90 HPS. Winston by himself, Tesla Cannon's like 60 or something like that, or maybe a little higher. I keep forgetting what patch we're on. All in all, you're doing less. You don't do enough against Bastion. And then B, this Cassie just missed everything. He was missing all his shots here. I saw him roll and fan the hammer and just whiff and whiff and whiff. And like, this chase was so bad by the enemy team. And the music honestly topped off the clip. But anyways, a pretty funny clip. That's why it's tagged the team. We're like, this leap was comical. These shots, all body shots, there's armor that lowers it. You're self-healing. He throws a mag grenade, reloads mid-mag grenade, rolls, fans the hammer, and misses everything. So the Ana later, don't even get me started on that. Anyways, funny clip. Well, competitive Overwatch clip. Insane tracer duel between Knife and Sugarfree. Top tracer players in the world in the OWCS. What do we got here? Oh.
The latter to the burn of the latent chain guns after Malgo had fallen. Daddy's dirty.
Oh, okay. Let me explain what happened in this clip. Tracer duel. No, one more blink here. Knife is trying to do the last shot. Sugarfree blinked in with a shot to kind of like mess him up. Unloads his last clip, misses the melee, and now Knife almost kills him and thought he could blink and melee to finish it off into the instant recall. That's like a complete instant animation cancel. It looks pretty fast in motion. So right there, an average player may not notice, but he actually meleeed while he blinked at the same time. It's a really common tracer tech that people should know after 9-10 years, but obviously if you're a newer player who watches this, that's what he tried to do. And after this recall, both recalls are burned. Sugarfree also recalled at the end. Sugarfree lands a nasty stick, but I saw him blink 3 times just now after the recall. I don't know if he has when he recalled, he probably used all 3 of the blinks right away, even with the perk. Knife has no recall here. He is dead because he's stuck. So what he does is he blinks into Sugarfree to take him out with him to do the 1-for-1 trade, despite Sugarfree landing the pulse bomb and quote unquote outplaying the tracer and probably winning the duel. Knife had one last chance in the tracer 1v1 is to just blink in and get the self-elim, the self-kill, so that they both die, which is dirty. Very, very dirty. Very heads-up play. Obviously, if Sugarfree had one more blink, he could have made it out if he recognized it, but that was a heads-up play by Knife. Really cool. Another competitive Overwatch post. This one's showing the top-played supports and DPS duos and tanks and the bands and the maps they played on in the recent OWCS, the Overwatch Championship Series, NA and EMEA playoffs to show like what people are picking with the perks. It's a little blurry on this picture, but the top 10 most played support duos are actually Ana and Lucio with a 45% win rate, but you know, playoffs are a pretty small sample size. Juno Brig is the next most popular, then Juno Lucio, wow, double speed, then Lucio Kiri, and then Ana Brig, and it starts tapering off. Ana Kiri, Juno Ana. The biggest takeaway here is the frequency of Juno and Lucio. I knew Ana was going to be picked a lot, but I didn't expect Juno to be picked this much as well. The top 10 most played support duos on this one per zone per map. Wait, am I reading this wrong? Top 10 most played support duos is both these per zone per map. Oh, I see. The yellow. Okay, so these are like the different maps. So Juno Brig, Kiriko Lucio on the other map. These are map dependent. Okay, the top 10 damage duos is Sojourn Tracer, Sojourn Genji, Sojourn Echo, Ashe Tracer, Ashe Genji, Sojourn Pharah starts tapering off, Cassidy Genji. These are all really low. The top 10 most damage duo on the other map was Sojourn Genji, Sojourn Pharah, Sojourn Torbjorn, Sojourn Venture, and it's really low here. Biggest takeaway point for the damage heroes looks like Sojourn, Tracer, and Genji are the outliers. Despite what people say, oh my god, Genji's weak, it looks like the pros love Genji, all because of his reset and his kill potential and the power of the Nano Blade, I suppose, right? With Ana's perk with the Nano. So again, with the supports, Ana, Lucio, Juno Brig being the most common on both maps. Lots of Juno, lots of Lucio, lots of Ana, lots of Brig. For the DPS's biggest takeaway, Sojourn Tracer, Sojourn Genji, lots of Sojourn everywhere, some Ashe and a little trickle of a little bit of Pharah. And then for the tanks, we have Mauga being the most popular tank on both ends. Then Winston, then Diva, then Ram for your Brawl option, and a little bit of Hazard. Wrecking Ball a little bit, but the rest were pretty much not played very frequently. Sigma, Diva, Orisa, very, very low frequency. But Mauga, Winston, Ram seem to be your top 3 choices here. And I assume, I guess because there are bans, maybe that's why Ana wasn't as frequent. I saw it being played the most, I guess, when it gets let through, Ana, Lucio on some of these. But then if I scroll down, most banned heroes are Ana, then Mauga, then Kiriko, then Winston, then Juno, then Pharah, then Genji, then Lucio, then Tracer, Brig, and Ram. So basically all the heroes, if they didn't get banned, they got instantly played, which is what it shows up here. This side, it will be the top 10 most banned heroes in the next region. Sorry, so I realize these are not per map. This is per region, EMEA, NA. This graphic was a little hard to read at first. I guess it just wasn't intuitive for me. North America versus EMEA, what they preferred. And then your top 10 most banned heroes in EMEA, Pharah the most, then Ana, then Kiri, Diva, Torb, Lucio, Brig, Ram, Juno. And these are your map picks. I mean, this is not that important, but the biggest takeaway, once again, with the ones that I listed. I've always thought Ram was really good with the perk that does damage with the it does a little bit extra damage with the vortex, and the one that makes him block, and you can stall really long with brawl. Ram is like just not popular in ranked, but he's always been like one of your best brawl options, like since forever. Mauga being a little better right now, but you know, Ram's great. Next post, Endorsement Level 4 no longer has a missing pixel. Wow, it was unplayable before. Thank God. There's also a point where I think the health packs, the mega or the mini health pack was like off-centered or something, but I think that's been fixed ever since. That was in the game for a long time too, which makes it unplayable. Should we bring back post-match highlight cards? I really enjoyed being able to vote on the player highlights after each match in the original Overwatch, but for some reason Overwatch should remove this fun feature. Does anyone else miss these post-match highlights too? I do. It's nice to get the whole like on fire MVP thing and seeing like who was MVP in that game, right? I mean, Rivals does it, and a lot of people like to show off the MVP. They Overwatch, what they said, they kind of like neutered a lot of the systems that like made people feel good, like the getting like epic and getting 5 people upvoting you, or showing how many gold medals you had, or showing that you're MVP. And just that feel good motion, all in exchange for what they call, I think, faster retention and faster player churn, just to get people to keep queuing, get more matches done per hour so more people are playing the game, is what I'm pretty sure what they did. They tried to over optimize it, and I think it came at the expense of losing what felt good. But I think even the stats say like a lot of people just didn't end up staying on this page very long regardless. But like that being said, for those that did enjoy sitting on this card and getting that little dopamine hit of people upvoting them, why remove stuff that like, you know, people can exit out of on their own terms if they don't want to opt in, but the people who like seeing it get to stay, so you get to please everybody. And that's again the problem of over optimizing the shit out of video games. Let's not do that anymore. Bring back the stuff that makes people feel good. Next, playing Baptiste is maybe really, oh, this is the Overwatch University post. Okay, we have 2 more posts here, one from Overwatch University. Playing Baptiste has really made me realize how valuable it is to not just heal your team every second of the match. I've been playing support for a few days straight, and man, realizing that not being a quote-unquote heal bot is so valuable to the team in terms of winning fights. Sometimes it isn't about keeping your tank or DPS alive, but also helping them just eliminate the person they're fighting. It sounds so simple, but I never knew how good it is to put in effect. Of course, not every character can do this like Mercy, but I think a good Mercy has a few moments where she can whip out the pistol and take a break from the healing. Yeah, I'm glad that, you know, if it finally made you realize it. Baptiste is one of the best heroes to do it, simply because he can never lose any output from his healing, because he can always weave 1 damage shot in between each heal. If he's super DPS heavy, you can do 2 shots per 1 heal at the expense of a little less healing but a little more DPS. Kiriko can also do one of the same things with like weaving in Ofudas and the kunais. The other heroes have to make the choice. Like Ana has to decide whether she shoots a teammate or an enemy, so you have more agency there. But like the point is that it made you realize that, you know, you don't necessarily only have to heal to add value. Dealing damage and eliminating a damage threat means you have less to heal, which is why Widowmaker is the best healer in the game, because you kill all 5 people, now there's nothing to heal. Bam, period. Nah, but jokes aside, I'm glad you realize this, and I'm hoping more people realize this as well. You have to just find the right time if you're a hero that doesn't have perfect rhythm like Bap or Kiriko, where you can, you know, do both at the same time. I mean, obviously Lucio can because he's on the aura and whatever, but like I'm talking about the example where you have to shoot your gun and you have a choice between those two. Weaving it in is fantastic because adding damage is also adding pressure to the enemy team to continually heal the person you're damaging. Best case scenario, you eliminate them, then you don't have to heal any of the output from them anymore, but it takes them off their angles and relieves your team of that pressure, especially when it's convenient to shoot them. So yeah, good. Don't necessarily only have to heal bot in this game to add value. All right, last post, Nano Etiquette. Ooh, okay. Diamond 3 support player here. I've always been under the impression that Nano Boost is given after the DPS tells you to when going for an ult synergy, like a Nano Blade, Nano Overclock, Nano Visor. They're already tracking cooldowns that can stop their ult, so it's easier on both of us for them to call for it when it's safe. But I came back from a break recently and I've had multiple games being flamed for saving Nano accidentally. I had a game yesterday where both my Genji and Winston were furious at me in VC for not Nano Blading despite not calling for it at all the whole fight. They had a whole plan where the tank would bait the enemy sleep dart, but I'm on the other side of the map and I literally can't hear the audio cue. Another one where my Sojourn held alt all game waiting for me to nano her, but I used it on my Winston instead because I didn't know she wanted it. I don't speak in VC for various reasons, so I can't give orders and count down my ultimate usage for my team, which makes it really inefficient to expect me to initiate. So how do I fix it? This is just a simple communication thing. The ping system, if you're not in VC, has a 3-2-1. You're gonna have to type it to your team. And that's why voice comms and being very clear on what your game plan is very important in a ranked match. Obviously they flamed you, but like that's not on you because like there's no expectation to. You guys didn't communicate it. They didn't initiate and ask that they wanted it, and you didn't say like, hey, do you want me to nano you first? I'm not saying it's your fault, but I'm just saying like this is the whole point of like communication being a big thing when you're comboing. So I guess it's less about nano etiquette and more about the nano unwritten rule is that if you don't use the 3-2-1 ping, which a lot of people don't, what some people do is they spam Z on the keyboard or that my ultimate is ready a bunch of times without wasting time typing it to your team, especially if they're out of VC. That's what we used to do in Overwatch 1. If I had a Genji on my team out of VC, I would just spam, nano boost is ready, nano boost is ready, nano boost is ready. And then they would spam, my blade is ready to be unleashed. And if they say that, then the cue is to actually watch for them to dash up. In your specific scenario where they were furious at you for the whole game plan with the enemy sleep dart, how were you aware of this plan then? That means they were probably in VC, right? Oh yeah, they were in VC, sorry. So if they were in VC and like that happened, like that's on them for doing that and like pulling up the blade preemptively and not understanding where you were on the battlefield. It's actually on them to kind of like look back and say and maybe ask, are you ready, are you here? They could turn around and look, but it's also sort of on you to be like, I'm not there yet. You have to type it out or say it in VC, especially if you're in VC. Sojourn held alt all game waiting for me to nano her. I would actually say Sojourn can just dash up or slide up and say this ends now and pop her ultimate without pressing, you know, the Z or pressing the Z button or the my ultimate is ready, and you can reactively do it. So I guess the nano etiquette is that if they pop their ult, like Genji has an easy way out where he dashes up, Sojourn, you know, slides up, Winston jumps up. So it's a pretty easy angle, even if you don't communicate it. If you kind of just go the psychic version and kind of just predict, I would always say it's just better than using it than not using it. I know she held it waiting for you to nano it, but at least you use it on Winston, which isn't that bad. And she didn't know I didn't know she wanted it. That's on her for not communicating that. Like you can't predict. Like it's a very strong option, but even nanoing Winston could be pretty bright in some scenarios too. And actually in a lot of cases, to build his ultimate, build tempo, take space, right? Yeah, you can only fix this by, again, hitting the Z button or the my ultimate is ready a bunch of times. That's the unwritten rule. The other way is the 3-2-1 ping. The other one is typing it out if you're not in VC. And the best option is obviously just verbally communicate it, hopefully if they're in voice. That's it for Reddit posts of this week. Let me know if you enjoyed it, and bye-bye.